Viewers, welcome to PGurus channel one more time. I'm your host Sri Iyer. Palghar or Palghar. The incident happened a few months ago, and like everything else, it's in danger of being buried. But a group of volunteers have come together and put together a very interesting, in depth report. And I'm going to today have one of the co authors join us on this panel, Pravartak Pathak. Pravartak Pathak is a practicing advocate at Mumbai High Court. He is presently appointed as Senior Panel Counsel of Union of India at Mumbai High Court. I should say Bombay High Court. As advocate, he has appeared in various public interest litigation, PIL, for protection of fundamental rights, including tribal rights. He has prepared this fact-finding committee as part of Vivek Vichar Manch, and he is a joint member secretary of this committee. Pravartak ji, welcome to PGurus channel.
Namaskar. Thank you so much for inviting me on this platform.
It's my pleasure, sir. And viewers, many of you may have been wondering whatever happened about this lynch mob that killed two sadhus who were trying to leave, along with the driver, who were trying to leave on learning upon the fact that their leader had died somewhere in Gujarat. And this is one of those most horrific incidents, and more so because the cause of death was lynching. And this has come out in this fact-finding committee. And I'd like you, sir, to perhaps explain how this thing came about, what you do as a matter of routine things when you go and look at such matters, and how did you come to the conclusions that you have in this report?
Sir, I'll give you some background. This incident happened on 16th April 2020. You are aware that everyone is aware that due to COVID-19 throughout the world, in most of the countries, there is a lockdown. Similarly, in Mumbai, or I may say in Maharashtra, there was complete lockdown on 16th April 2020. And those two sadhus who lynched to death, those two sadhus along with their driver was traveling from Mumbai to Surat to attend some funeral of one of their guru. And while they were traveling to Surat, instead of taking regular route, since there was a lot of police checkpost and there was a lot of trouble, so they choose to go by a road which goes through this particular tribal area known as village Gadchinsle. When they passed from this Gadchinsle's checkpost, no one stopped them. They went till the boundary of Maharashtra, and there is one union territory adjacent to Maharashtra, Dadra Nagar Haveli. So on that checkpost, they were not allowed to go ahead. So these people were returning back around 8 o'clock. And while they were returning, some people stopped them as to make necessary, maybe for some inquiry. And it happened that around 8 o'clock, these people were stopped. Then a small mob gathered at that place. And after gathering that, that mob attacked. But when they attacked in a first incidence, they only pulled down their car and they damaged the vehicle only. They did not damage to the persons inside the car. And subsequently, no one knows what happened exactly at that particular point of time. That village can be described as a hamlet. There are only 20 or 25 families are residing in that small village. But around 500 to 600 people gathered between 8 to 10 o'clock, and around 10:30 police personnel reached there. And when those police personnel reached on the spot, unfortunately those sannyasis sadhus lynched. including their driver. So this is how that day happened, and in fact, that news was suppressed for a couple of days. Then subsequently, um, after some videos went viral, and on 18th April 2020, sorry, on 20th April 2020, the Honorable Chief Minister of Maharashtra made a statement on camera. No, no, this is something normal. Those sadhus lynched because of certain misunderstanding between the villagers. That there was some rumors that thieves are around, and that's why those mob lynched them. This is how he made statement, and tried to conclude that rumors was the only reason. But when we came across with the press note issued by the Commissioner of Police of Palghar district, in that press note, we came to know that there was a conspiracy. That's what it was recorded, and then there were some contradictory news reports, and that's why we thought that there must be some investigation, because we believe that since the Honorable Chief Minister has concluded even before the investigation what was the reason behind lynching, then we thought that there is a possibility that investigation might be misleaded, and that was the reason we decided to go into the details.
Now, this area has been a hotbed of conversion activity. It has also been sort of politically fairly captured by some extremist elements in terms of political ideology, isn't it? I mean, this is not something new, it's been happening for a while. How much do you think the politics of the region had to do with this lynching? How can 500 people gather all of a sudden over the night when it's becoming so dark? And you said the hamlet had only like 20 huts or something like that, the maximum maybe 100 people. So how did that group really get formed? Who set off all these fake narratives?
Uh, See, what we find in our detailed fact-finding committee report, we came across with the various interviews which was taken up by one of the member of our committee, who happens to be a journalist. What we realized and what we found that uh, since the independence of India, the Communist Party of India is having very strong hold within the region. In fact, it is their own website, the Communist Party's website, states that the Thane district, Palghar, and Nashik are the three. These are contiguous districts, and they're claiming that they are having very strong hold. Whatever their existence in state of Maharashtra strongly is in those three districts. Then what we found that there are certain organizations claiming to be a left-wing ideology organizations. Those organizations are pretty strong in that area. In fact, one of the founding member of one organization has drafted certain laws for the central government when the Congress government was in power, and they are conducting various activities, including they are conducting parallel judicial system in that area. Then what we found that there are different kind of activities are carried out, such as anti-government activities, anti-development activities, and anti-Hindu activities. And there is a consistent history of violence which we have recorded in a fact-finding committee report. When Janasangha was established, and there was one member, Mr. Dev Bender. He was a leader of Janasangha, and just because of having ideological differences, he was killed by the political goons. Then one of the organizations started Ashram Shala because they realized that uh, specifically, deliberately, there are some people, some elements who are spreading lies against Hinduism, who are spreading, trying to separate Adivasis, claiming that only Adivasis are aboriginal and they are the owners of this country and they have nothing to do with the rest of Indians. This is how there is a separatist movement by certain organization. And that's why one of the ashram shala was started in that area, and there are number of attacks since 1967 in that ashram shala. In fact, we have interviewed one Mr. Joshi. We found that the attack was so brutal that till date that day his skull was damaged. Then what we have also found during our interviews, that the modus operandi of the attackers, that when they want to attack, around 100 to 200 people gather together. They try to completely vandalize that whatever the house. They used to kill cattle. In fact, one of the incidents we have recorded, that in one incident around 300 to 500 cattle were killed, and not only killed, some of the cattle, they broke the spine cord, and this is how they are treating with the opposite ideology. This is one aspect. Second aspect, what we found, that those organizations who are involved in such kind of activities, one of the organization is Adivasi Ekata Parishad. That Adivasi Ekata Parishad is funded by one of the Christian missionary organization. Then there is other organization, Kashtakari Sangatna. Interestingly, the founding member of this Kashtakari Sangatna is Mr. Pradeep Prabhu. Pradeep Prabhu originally was a Christian missionary. He changed his name and adopted Hindu name, and then he he's conducting his activities since 1978. And this is how we realize that every time they attack on people with a different ideologies, and after conducting an attack, they always spread rumors, no, thieves are there, and that was due to some misunderstanding. So these are the evidences, whatever we find, we record it, that's in committee report.
The viewers, we are going to attach the report as part of this video post, and you can read the report. It is a fairly detailed report. It goes through the entire chronology. Like he said, Pravartak says that it started a long time ago, and there has been conversion related funding, and it's been fairly obvious that the group that has been working on this. Now, what the same group does is, instead of admitting that they had actually lynched, they try to project this on a different incident on the other side and say that, oh, this government allowed lynching here, this, there. So what we are seeing here is the bully actually starting to cry before he even commits the crime, or before the other people catch him having committed the crime. So then what people think is, oh, maybe there is some truth in what it is. And the same nefarious stories, same fake narratives find their way into the New York Times, the Washington Post of the world, and suddenly the world is being told that, oh, somebody else is doing it. In this case, it was a messaging that they thought that these were thieves attacking. You take one look at those sadhus. They are barely clothed. They are wearing the bhagwa, which is a telltale sign of a sadhu who has given up everything. He has taken sannyas, and they don't even look like, you would be somebody that they could be threatening. They are so weak, thin, and it's so sad how these people were killed. So there was a planned lynch attack that was done. What really boggles the mind to me is that they came to know of it in such a short time. They put together this thing, and they came and committed the heinous crime. Yes, were they wrong to have moved during lockdown? Yes. But were there exigent circumstances? Yes. Should they have taken the normal main road route and tried to find their way through? I don't know what was going through their minds when they decided this, but whatever it was, what was the police doing there? It seems like the police was trying to escort them to the car, and that's when the lynching attack started.
Yes, it's correct. In fact, what happened that when the first incidents happened, that time also some of the police personnel were present, and then since the large number of mob gathered from across the around villages, there is a around distance between other villages is around 5 to 10 kilometers. It's very difficult to digest that how who has sent a message, how they gathered together, but in one of the video what we realized that when police, particularly police personnel, reached on the spot, along with them there was one of the leader of ruling party, and when that leader reached at the spot, the people started gathering, the people started yelling dada ala, yani some big brother come, and thereafter the those that mob excited, and then they lynched, and it was very surprising why police remained as a silent spectator. In fact, those people was completely in position to control entire mob. They were having sufficient weapons along with them to defend or to protect those sannyasis. But unfortunately, they chose to remain silent. And interestingly, after this incidents, the entire police station, there was around 35 police constables, police personnel, including some police officers. All these police personnel were transferred from that place. 5 of them were suspended, including the superintendent of police of that Palghar district was also immediately transferred. So everything is suspicious, and that's what we have concluded and what we have stated, that this is what we realized, this is what we found. And what is important, since ultimately fact finding committee can't be a government investigating agency, and therefore the proper investigation is necessary, and that's why we have recommended that instead of state police doing this investigation, let this investigation be transferred either to the CBI or National Investigating Agency.
Well, we have to wait and see what the government decides to do. And I'm not sure of the protocol. Should the state government recommend to the central government and say that, yes, you should be doing it? I don't know. But the fact is that this was done in April. And I take it that you have submitted a copy to the relevant authorities on this one, to the office of the Home Minister, the office of the
Yes,
Minister.
yes. We have submitted this copy of the report to all concerned authorities, including state government as well as central government. As of now, whether matter should be transferred to the national level investigating agencies such as CBI or NI, that one petition is pending before Honorable Supreme Court of India, and we hope that some positive outcome may come in near future, in coming days.
Well, it was very educational knowing from you, Pravartak ji, about what happened, and I commend you for taking the effort to do this report. It's very detailed for the viewers. I request you to take time and go through the report. It is very detailed. It's got a lot of evidence that you cannot wish it away under the carpet. And more importantly, I want to spread this message to the world. There are a lot of people, genuine people, whose innocence is being hijacked by fake narratives, by some vested interests. And this has to stop. It has to stop today. And thank you very much, Pravartak ji, for sharing the time with us. I know you are at a place which is fairly well removed from the city of Mumbai, yet I'm happy that we had good connectivity and we got this recording done. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you so much. Namaskar.